What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys had yourselves a great Thanksgiving. We are here to do kind of like a quick little review of the first 4 episodes of season 5, Stranger Things. And this is a show that obviously captured all the hype and excitement years ago when it first came out. Um, yeah, you know it. I'm trying to think of how I want to go about talking about this. So, uh, my hype for this season was relatively low because it took so long um for this series to at least for this season to come out. Because the first, let me see, I'm very curious to see what the timeline of this series. So here, because like here's the thing. Let me see if I can find it. Where's it at? So overall, there are 42 episodes of Stranger Things, including all of what season 5 is. I believe. I believe that's right. The first season came out in 2016. Season 2, 2017. Literally came out a year afterwards. Season 3 came out 2 years afterwards, 2019. Season 4. Now, season 4 was that's about, no, that's still 3 years. Even with the COVID stuff, it was still 3 years. And then 3 years for this. So it took them almost overall 10 years to do a 42 episode series. So I think that's one of my issues. Is it's not just a Netflix thing. It's it's a streaming thing in general. It's really annoying that you have to wait so long. And I'm not really a huge fan of them breaking it up as they are, doing 3 separate parts during Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I don't care about that. They started doing that with some of their shows on Netflix. I know Arcane season 2 did it. I believe Squid Game season 2 did it. It it actually causes, at least for me personally, it actually causes me to really lose interest in the show when it's like that. I I like season 4. The way they did season 4, quite honestly, is what they should have done this season with the way they had it set up. I thought that would have been much more impactful, and you probably could have like wrapped it all up and just dropped all the episodes at once. Because I feel like Stranger Things is a show that whether you want to call it binge watching or not, that's one thing. But either binge watch it or do weekly episode releases. Because I'm talking about it now, I'm probably not going to talk about Stranger Things again until next month. So I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I mean, overall, this episode, the first 4 episodes, there were some things. There were so it was cringe. There were a lot of cringe moments in it. Like one in particular, like I just finished watching it. I just finished watching all 4 episodes, and like one of them is like in episode 4 when their plan is to rescue all the kids who are basically targeted by Vecna, get them, sneak them out of the military base, get them outside Hawkins, outside of Vecna's reach. It's like it's a stupid corny thing because Robin is talking about was it Tom, Dick, and Harry, the Great Escape and that kind of, all that stuff. They dig or not dig, they get to where they need to be right underneath the bunker where the kids are being held by the military, and there's just this stupid joke of uh hopefully, like, talk about Dick. And it's like, hopefully it's not too hard. And then Lucas is like, if it is, I'll soften it. And I'm just like, why did you say that? Even with Robin, where she's just like she's talking about the movie and she's like, I like dick, and I'm just like, why did you need to say that? Like, why was that necessary to have that line in? Why was it? I understand what she was trying to do, but like, did you just like throw that in there to try to get a laugh or something? It just made no sense to me on why you had that in there. I think it's very interesting that they made Holly. Holly's basically the focus of season 5. I mean, dude, let's be honest, be fair. I feel like she is the focus of season 5. Um, because she's one of the 12. I think it's 12 kids in total. Because she's one of the 12 kids, she's the focus, and um, it's just very surprising that like they just didn't. Oh, the town is quarantined, so they just go about their lives in the quarantine location. Um, Everybody has their own thing. You got Dustin trying to keep the Hellfire Club going after in honor of Eddie and everything like that. Um, they do these crawls every so often when the military does a burn, and Hop goes in the upside down, scours a section, tries to find Vecna, and so I like overall the four episodes. Let me see. I don't know if I even have a favorite out of the four. Um, and then we have Max, which I was very because like season 4 made me mad because they had an opportunity to kill off one of these main people, and I thought they were going to do it with Max, but then they didn't. They pulled it back, and I was curious on how I would respond with if Max comes in season 5 and what they do with her. Because I remember one of the theories that a lot of people thought about, what if Vecna takes control of Max's body or mind or something like that? Like, just something like that. But no, she she's I'm still trying to understand what they're in, cuz Max says she's in Vecna's prison. So like I think the way she best described it was she's in Vecna's memory. So is Holly in Vecna's memory too? So I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be more explain with the other episodes when they come out, but I may have to I'm gonna have to like do a rewatch before the next batch of episodes come out just to make sure I understand things. Um, I thought they were gonna do more with the Jonathan, Nancy, and Steve love triangle thing going on because again, they're probably going to set up for they may set it up later on down the line with these other episodes, but season 4 they kind of were teasing something like that. We see that Jonathan is uh is planning on proposing to Nancy. I feel bad for the parent for Mike and Nancy's parents. I was really surprised about that. I was not expecting that to happen to them, like happening to them. So I was like, okay, you know what? That's interesting. Uh, they're both fine. I think maybe I would have preferred if you killed off one. If you were gonna kill off one, kill off Ted. But they didn't. So I mean it's fine. It's whatever. I'm trying to think of. I'm just like I said. I just finished this, and it's really hard to like give my full thoughts about it until I see the rest of the episodes and how they connect with these first 4 episodes. Um, so like, I'm trying to think. Like, mm, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was very cringe. Some of Nancy's stuff, I don't. like I can see the evolution of what they were doing with her through the first couple of episodes, but like here she's just like kind of, I guess you could say she's a girl boss for the. I mean, is she basically like the leader of everybody now? Because then I don't know. It's that was just some interesting stuff. There were some interesting things they did with some of the characters. Um, uh, Elle's sister comes back. She's back in this now. I'm curious to see on how the military and Dr. K, how they caught her. That'd be very interesting to see, because you knew she had to come back because they introduced her in season two, because it was like one of the bad, not bad episode. It was the most out of the box episode of season two. You knew they had to bring her back to justify them doing that. So I'm curious to see what her story is in regards to season five. Um, Good to see Vecna again. I actually like this design. Maybe well, yeah. I kind of like this design. This design that they went with this one compared to what they did with season four. I think this design looks really really good. So now Will. So so does Will have powers in it like now? Is he again? This is the like because he got nosebleeds like L does. So does he have the ability to? I guess yeah, it would make sense on why he would, because he had so much of a connection with Vecna, the Mind Flayer, and all that. It would make sense that he would um, access, some of the same abilities as Vecna can. So I guess it could make sense on them doing that. So I guess it's not too much of a far fetch. Um, I have to see more what they do with it though. I have to see more, and this is the problem. Like instead of just dropping it all at once, just binge watching it. I have to like sit and wait because I'm probably going to forget about all this in about a month until I go in and rewatch it before the next batch comes out. Um, Some of the death scenes were cool. The Demogorgon, like I will say, I actually like what they did with the Demogorgons and the way they can I guess you want to call it teleport, but the way they can open portals now is actually really really cool. I actually like that. They lit it. I mean, it's always been able to do that, but we haven't really got to see it as effective as we saw it here. So I thought that was really really cool to see, and watching the Demogorgons go after people and stuff like that. Thought that was thought that was really cool as well. Um, but yeah, it's just I mean, there were some things I liked. There's some things I thought was again just like really cringe and things and stuff like that. Um, I still think you need to. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see on what they do with these other parts, part two and three, because I'm just kind of I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it for me. It's like because I've watched the other seasons, I'm kind of just watching season five just to have that completion of watching all the seasons of Stranger Things, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't really all that hyped for it. It looked good when I saw the trailers and stuff like that. Me and Tiny Teresa, we did like a video a couple months back, and we watched somebody talk about like his predictions for season five. I'll have to actually go back and revisit that video and see if he got any of them right. That's gonna be interesting. That'll be fun. Um, I would say out of this first four, I would probably give this a C plus. Um, some of the cringe dialogue and stuff like that kind of takes it down a notch. I thought I thought, what did Nancy say when they were in the hospital? She said she doesn't trust doctors who smoke and those that call her sweetheart. And I was just kind of like, what? Like that's a piece of dialogue you could have just taken out. You did not need to have that. You did not need to have that in there. When you have the whole L training, and I remember because I remember that clip came out, and they were people were like roasting it because I mean, give Millie Bobby Brown is not a very athletic person, and so definitely had to have a stunt double, and so it had like weird cuts, but it only had weird cuts because they had to use a stunt double because Millie Bobby Brown was just not a very athletic or is not a very athletic person. Because it looked like because when I saw it, like her doing the whole training sequence, my mind immediately went to uh the Rise of Skywalker and Rey doing that whole obstacle course and stuff like that. And so I was just like, oh, that's no. So, and then another big issue with the series is their ages. Like, these are all people who are supposed, for the most part, these are all people who are supposed to be still in high school, and they look like adults. And no amount of makeup you do and things like that can really change that because we've seen pictures. Because the actress who plays Erica, I think actually just graduated high school or graduated college. It was one of those two. I remember people were talking about it over on Twitter. Uh, so yeah, the ages, that is something that was kind of like, this is gonna just be weird to deal with, and so, but I mean, like I said, overall, there are some good parts. There's some good things. There's some bad things. Dialogue is kind of there's parts of the dialogue you could have just left out. You didn't need. Some of the jokes just weren't really funny. And it just there was just a lot of stuff. Now, again, probably when I rewatch it, my opinions of it may change. But I have to see what the next about 4 episodes do. I think it's 4 episodes. Let me see. So yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's three. Yeah, because December 25th, you have episodes five, six, and seven. And then episode eight, you have December 31st. So I don't know why they did that. You could have just put it with the other ones. Why are you making it like a week later? It's such a dumb thing, but I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it just does. But yeah, it's Stranger Things, season five, part one. I'm curious to see what other people think about it. Let me see. I want to go to X real quick. So I'm very curious to see what people. I think I've seen some people not really be all that excited for it. Let me look. Me trying to save Dustin. Max. One last campaign. I will say the character Derek. I was just like when they first showed him, I was like, I freaking hate Derek. I hate Derek so much. And then by the end of it, I was like, I like you, Derek. You're not bad. You're not bad. So with them doing Will having abilities as well, I'm curious on if there's going to be some kind of like psychic showdown at the end of the series. You know, like L, Will, and Eight. I forgot her name. I literally forgot her name. Um, so trying to see what else is there. I'm looking at these other posts. Henry, like so, like I was, I will say something. Go back to the series. Go back to the series. I did like the Henry stuff. Like everybody else sees Holly as just talking to an imaginary friend, and it's basically Vecna disguised as Henry to gain her trust. Um, I thought that was actually an interesting way to go about it. I thought that was actually pretty good. Um, um, oh, and one of and so when Max was talking to Holly about like what she was doing, she was like going through the memories and everything like that. We actually get to see a much younger Joyce in high school and Steve Harrington's fathers, and I thought that was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, that's it. That's just my general thoughts about the first four episodes of season five of Stranger Things. Just my initial thoughts, just talking about it, just since I just finished watching the episode. Um, Now, obviously, I may have to get my friend Tiny. She might get to get we might do a review and stuff like that about it here soon, or we may just wait till like it's all finished and then we'll talk about it. But that is basically it, guys. I just want to just, like I said, I just finished watching it. Just want to just get out here and just talk. Just not really just plan it out or like script it out or anything like that. I just wanted to mainly just talk about it. But I would like to hear you guys' thoughts about season five, the first four episodes. Did you like them? Did you didn't like them? Um, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. But thank you again for hanging out. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.